Welcome back to DM-Nastics, the gym for dungeon masters to work out their minds. I'm one of your hosts, DM Neil, aka Joe Maniac.
And it's me, your other host, DM Celeste, aka Sea Witch.
Dun dun dun. Little did you know, listener, this is actually the 100th episode that Celeste and I have done together.
We're 100 years old today, Neil. Wow. I'm feeling pretty good for such a milestone.
I feel 100 years old because I went to a theme park with my children after working out way too much like 2 days before. And I was like, well, yeah, maybe I just didn't need to.
Fine.
I could have done it.
Let me be
better.
in the sun and chase children for 8 hours on top of that. Yeah, no worries.
My choices
hard mode.
So much better. Oh, yeah. And I just didn't know that the theme park. Oh, I went to Universal Studios here in California. I just didn't know how spread out that was. I had not been lately. And like the new areas are very far from the old areas. And some of the steepest escalators I have ever been on.
I guess that's why on movie lots they use little crates to get around.
Mm-hmm. I am not one to be uncomfortable with heights or anything like that. But there were moments where I'm like, oh, there are people that like probably won't go on.
Yeah, no, I'm scared. I'm scared of heights. I don't know.
Oh, it's bad. Like you would just look down the whole time. Then it's It's so bad that literally the entire time it says, "Don't turn around."
Oh my god, whoa.
That's how scary they are.
Wow. Yeah. Hard mode for sure.
But instead of hard mode, we're going on easy mode because instead of reading an article, we're pretty much just going to make one up on our own. It's almost like we're going to lift the mental weights right now.
Lifting weights is what I do. Look at me. Lift these weights.
Because today we are going to just come up with 10 easy exercises that any DM can use at their table, old, new, anywhere in between, to help elevate their game. Maybe you're in between sessions. Maybe you're in between campaigns. Maybe you haven't even started. Maybe you don't want to start, but maybe you want to still keep everything fresh in your mind. We're going to go back and forth and come up with some exercises that you can do to sharpen your skills.
All right, Neil. Well, let's start. Neil, what is your number 5 out of, rolling a D10 top exercise?
Okay. This one is tough. It's tough because it seems counterintuitive. I'm bad at it. So I'm going to say it,
good exercise,
and then I'm going to hopefully go do it. Yeah. Go rewatch your favorite show with a notebook. Because like you're drawn to that, whatever your favorite show is, there's a reason you're drawn to it. There's a reason you're wanting to rewatch it. Sometimes it's comfort. Sometimes it's the plot. Sometimes it's the characters. There's something that's drawing you to that. Often it's narratively. Bring a notebook. Like what is standing out to you as you watch that? Is it a movie? Is it an episode? Something. Take notes. Because like that's you. Like that's why something about you is in that show. Take that and then take it back to your table. So that's my number 1. It's weird. I would say do this in the comfort of your own home.
Probably just we bring a notepad to a movie theater and watch people stare up.
Okay. If you do it, definitely dress up a little bit. You're probably going to get like the star treatment because they might assume you're some sort of critic.
Ooh, a reviewer.
So bring a notebook to, like I said, is it your favorite movie? Is it your favorite show? Rewatch it, but like do it more with like the intent of like really kind of analyzing it towards your D&D game.
Nice. That's a good one. Especially because learning about you, there's a lot you can learn from media, whether it's like pacing or the kind of stories you want to tell or like characters you really like. All of that is useful in a storytelling medium, which is, tabletop gaming. Okay. So you said that was your number 1. So I think we have to go in order.
Are we doing number 1 or are we doing number? I said number 5.
I said number 5.
Okay.
So that was your number 1. Okay. All right. Okay. So my number 2, my next one is play a different RPG. Whatever it is that you are running at your table normally, get out of your comfort zone. And if you can, play a one-shot with either the same people or even ideally different people. Just play something else so you can learn to appreciate again and kind of remember what it is that you like about the system that you're running all the time. It's really easy to fall sort of out of love or to get kind of tired or in a rut with the same games, right? Especially if you've been running for years, this one kind of system. So playing something else is always a great way to shake things up and then learn a lot of lessons about other cool mechanics that you might want to bring back to your table. Or, even if you can't play another game, like you can't find a group to do it, pick up another game and read through it. Like, learn the rules to a different game, because even that process will get your brain working and kind of wrapped around a different way of telling stories or different mechanics that are likely to inspire something in your own game, regardless of the system.
Okay, so we're doing 1, 2, 3, and we're going to get to 10. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we've done it. We figured it out.
Okay, number 3. Okay, this one does kind of apply to someone that has a more active game. Text your players.
Yeah.
Between sessions. Figure out what that means. So, okay, this is work with me, everybody. I have really strong opinions about certain things. They really, really, really don't apply to the podcast, but I'll try. So I am of the mind that with as much technology as we have, that a fully in-person course for higher education is a waste of time. In the same way, even as a person that like ran an entire online course system, like from front to back, I was writing the code on the servers. I was helping end users. I was helping instructors build their courses. I am also very, very opposed to fully online courses because I think there's too much of a disconnect. People don't know what's going on both sides. The instructor doesn't know the students. The students don't know the instructor. Okay, great. So I'm a huge proponent then of hybrid, where you meet once a week and then the rest is online. All that administrative stuff. Why do I need to do a quiz in class? Why do I need to do the homework or the forums or all these things that can just be done online? Why do I need to do that in class? When we're in class, when we're at the table, we just do the thing. We do the D&D when we're at the table. All this administrative stuff that can be online, especially with D&D Beyond, or is it, all these other things can be done outside of the table. Is it leveling up? Is it asking about their patron? Is it asking about their deity? Is it talking to them about what they think they want for magic items down the road? Is it like there are so many administrative pieces that still keep them and you as a DM engaged and that conversation still going that doesn't have to hold up the table, because those conversations get to be one-on-one. Like I've had a lot of side conversations with my character that is a warlock. But if I do that at the table, the other 5 players might be interested, but not the way that one engaged, player is interested.
Right, as much.
Yeah. And because there's too much back and forth about it. If it's resolved and then that's happening at the table and it's happening, it's not being discussed, it's actively happening because we already talked about it. Then it's cool and everyone's involved. It's not like, okay, so what were you thinking for your patron? Okay, hold on, let me look that up. Okay, so then this, and okay, then you would have these spells, and like, wait a minute, hold on, what was that magic item you were? Let me see. Oh no, that wouldn't. No, that rarity's too. That no. So text your players. Because again, it keeps them engaged. It keeps you engaged. It keeps them engaged, especially if you're like me, where like my home group is more of a once a month kind of thing. But again, then it's that more of back and forth, and then it doesn't feel as big or as, I got to catch everybody up kind of thing, because the conversation is kind of kept going through that whole time.
Yeah. And what's great too is a lot of the time players spend a lot more time thinking about their characters, like away from the table and what they want for their characters. So this is a nice reminder for you as a GM, like to tap into that. And it makes them feel great that you're paying attention and you want to engage with them on that personal level. Okay. I'm trying to pick which one to do next. I have a few. All right. My next one will be try and design a magic item for a PC at your table. So picture one PC that you have, maybe the one who's been really great in a plot lately, or just somebody who, goes above and beyond. They always order the pizza or whatever it is. And try your hand at a little bit of homebrew, making an item that will really play to their strengths and what they like to do at the table and make it easier for them. I think in general, it's always a good idea, to start doing a little homebrew making stuff for yourself, right? Like as you get more experience and learn the rules, like that is one of the most fun ways to engage and learn more about the system is to make something. And if you're making something that you can actually hand, right to a player, that is a great way to encourage certain behaviors. Like, hey, I love that you always use this kind of spell, right? And like, you're so creative. So why not give them a magic item that lets them, cast that spell more than they normally could? That kind of thing. I think it's a really good exercise in both your own skill and how to make things that your players will enjoy and really interface with the treasure system in like a meaningful way.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about it before. Be open and honest, because when giving that, it's likely that you're about to be playtesting in real time.
Yeah.
Be open and honest with your player that there's a likelihood that you will both ways. It's possible that you're going to need to turn the dial up for their magic item as much as you may need to turn it down. It's an unknown, and you don't know how it's going to interact with the other abilities at the table, be it theirs or the other players. I've had to do it. I've just had to be honest but again, you're doing it specifically for that player.
Yeah.
So hopefully
they're going to be happy to help and engage in that. Right. Yeah.
Cool. So along that same vein, and as kind of a hint to an episode that's actually coming up down the road, one of the main episodes is make a subsystem for a monster. So it doesn't have to be something that stays for the whole campaign or even the next session. It just make something that the players engage with that is smaller. Because then it makes that session more interesting. Does it make that fight more interesting? Does it make a chase more interesting? It makes something about that event different because they're engaging with a different subsystem that you yourself as the DM have created to bespoke, if you will, that session to make it have a different feel because you're trying to make it a certain thing. So make a subsystem that can go away. Again, because you're not trying, it's not trying to be a subclass. It's not trying to be a magic item. It's not trying to be a spell. It's not trying to be anything else other than that one singular session that you use it.
Yeah. I guess my next one kind of builds on that concept a little bit. So for this one, my exercise is try and plan and run a different style of game. There are a lot of ways to run games and a lot of ways to shake it up from kind of that standard session format. And you should try it every once in a while. So whether that's running like a game session one-on-one, so it's like you, the GM, and you specifically play with one other player and do kind of a solo episode, or maybe it's something where you ask your players to play NPCs at certain points or at meaningful moments in a session. Or, if you're a table that always does only theater of the mind style of combat, maybe try out a game where you actually use a battle map and minis and like really go hard on the little details. Just shaking things up and kind of exploring the different ways you can play every once in a while and reminding the group, that there are more options out there might lead you to find new things that you like, or, just shake up pace in a meaningful way, or allow you to inject some energy into something, even while just continuing, with your normal story. Try out these different ways, stretch and see, what the challenges are and what the exciting bits are with doing something a little bit different while still staying within the same system.
That's an interesting one because I definitely don't. Dang it. I'm getting called to take it to task. Yeah, and obviously check in with what like the limitations are with your table. I mean, there's like, I'm not going to get away with like too much of a horror element. Like my table's not going to be up for it, but like you also don't usually go as like super zany, like over the top. But I think I could probably get away with something more slapstick with my table. And like, that's something I could definitely venture into. So that'd be a lot more fun for me. Like do, more of that carnival theme kind of thing. So I like it.
So that you are number 7.
So this is something I did. It's something I was sharing online and for social media, but that started taking something away from it for me. Mm-hmm. So I kind of stopped doing it, and I did it for all of 2023. So it was Dungeon 23, and I have shared some of my Dungeon 25. Listeners will know, and people that follow me on social media will know that I have to some degree back and forth. I have certainly done Dungeon 25, but I took a like more just for me approach to it because I did all of Dungeon 23. So it's like I proved to myself whatever I felt like I needed to prove in that aspect. So I took a much more concerted effort to say, no, I'm really trying to build very specific things. Like I want something to inspire me more and build more, but still take it like a room at a time. And so like at one point I remember like something about, I started reading the new Spelljammer book from D&D. And then I was thinking like, there was those weird hammerhead ships. And then I was like, oh yeah, but then those, and I had like this mind flayer area and I blew apart the hammerhead ship and made each piece connected inside as part of the dungeon. And
cool.
My thing would be just get a piece of graph paper and just draw some stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. Just draw some rooms. And that if it speaks to you, it does. If it doesn't, that's fine. Like that's what I did a lot is I just started drawing rooms. And again, any longtime listener knows like mega dungeons are my gym jam as we are wont to say. Mainly it's because you say it enough and I say it now too. But even still, like I am more comfortable now than I was even before because I just start drawing rooms and seeing. But I'm at the point where I could draw rooms more than I could fill them. Like I could draw an Undermountain sized map and have no clue what's in it.
No,
because I've gotten so comfortable just drawing rooms and just like free forming and just having them flow together and whatever they're going to be and coming up with weird stuff. Are they caverns? Are they not? And just like picking themes out and just start drawing dungeon rooms for a while. And is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 15? Is it 40? It doesn't matter. Like there's a comfort level to starting to do that. And then knowing whenever that resource is needed, you can just pull on it. Because like that's what happened when Tim and I started designing our stuff for the cruise this last year. It's like stuff came up and I was like, well, hey, wait, hold on. Give me a minute. And I just started digging through my notebooks because I literally have now like 3 notebooks full of just random dungeon rooms that I came up with over time. And started piecing some of those together to come up with the dungeon that I wanted to run them through. And then like something else came up like for my home game. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I pieced together a few other dungeon rooms that I had come up with. So like it's at the point where literally I have roughly, give or take, over 500 dungeon rooms.
Yeah. And you should never do more work than you need to. If you already have great maps, stick your gut, like use them. Absolutely. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, just like again, it's all about keeping those muscles working and a lot of these can start to work together. Like are you building a dungeon room because you made that magic item in number 4 for that character and you
need somewhere to put it. Yeah.
Because exactly.
Yeah. I guess okay, so I'll give one too that kind of works with that. So like creating an exercise where you create things that might be helpful later. For me, it's suggest make a random encounter table. Try making your own random encounter tables that suit your campaign, your world. And you can make, just one for the area your characters are currently in, or you could make them for different regions, right? Like if you have a world that's mostly forest and then a lot of towns, make some forest and then some town random encounter maps. So if you are sitting there ahead of time thinking what monsters would be fun to fight and what combinations, or maybe what little social encounters or exploration challenges could come up, but maybe haven't, that's a great thing to do. Sit down and make that table. And then even better, just like Neil was saying, he has these notebooks now full of these great like dungeon maps. You can pop in. You will have random encounter tables sitting there that are handmade for your campaign and your situation, ready to go in case you ever, run into a moment where, oops, I didn't prep enough, or, oh, the characters really just got through everything I had planned. What am I going to do? Whip out those random encounter tables. And then it's also a really good exercise in just encounter building balance in general. Like if you think ahead, like, okay, how many monsters reasonably do I need to make this like a good fight? It's a good, great training exercise to really, quickly build appropriate encounters that work great and are handpicked for your world. So why not?
And the nice thing about like doing it over time and like kind of building that repository, like I am certainly getting older. My hair has certainly gone gray much earlier than as gray as it is much earlier than most people, which is fine. But and as my beard gets longer, I also have very Gandalf moments when I look back at them. I'm like, I have no recollection of this place. Because I don't. Like at that point, the Dungeon 23 stuff is 2 years old. And I look at some of them and I'm like, I don't remember making these at all.
Yeah.
Some I totally do because they really stand out to me. But others, I have just no memory at all. Okay, so this will be the last one that I present. And I am excited that I feel like this is a really, really good one. Hopefully it feels like, yeah, he did it. He circled it back and made a really good one at the end. Especially if you're writing stuff for a home game, even if it's a produced module. An exercise to do is go back through whatever you have written down. Again, if it's produced by you or by Wizards or by Kobold Press, anybody, go through and figure out what doesn't matter in terms of named things and take it away.
Yep.
And ask them because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, figure out what doesn't directly impact the narrative or storyline that you're trying to tell. And take it away.
Yeah.
It'll feel super weird at first. Because you might let go of them babies, but
the sacred cow.
Yeah. But I think it's a really important thing to do because over time that ownership and that back and forth and that ease, it lightens the load over time that you have to carry and allows ownership for the players to have. So again, just go through. It's an NPC. It's an NPC they meet one time. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter what species, what class, what they look like, what their name is. All of it's up for grabs. So then take it all away. And then when we get there, depending on which player hasn't had the limelight, which player seems to be super interested, say like, okay, well, what do they look like?
Yeah.
And so what does the shop look like? So again, so what I've realized is like, yeah. So number one thing, go back through if it's, again, pre-written or written by you, figure out the pieces that don't directly impact your narrative. But again, if it does, hold true to those. Don't let those, hold true to the things that will, and certainly be the one to set those in stone. But the ones that don't matter quite as much, like go ahead and let the players be the ones to fill in those gaps. I've gone so far as I've literally gone so far as oh, the bandits, they have a symbol on their gear. And they're like, what does it look like? I'm like, well, yeah, what does it look like? And so then, then from then on, the bandits that they're fighting and looking for, they made them.
I like that because it's like a lot. It's like the Marie Kondo strategy of RPGs. Like, whatever doesn't spark joy, get rid of it, right? Yeah. And you'll be better for it. Everything will be healthier for it.
Hug that bugbear. Did you love that bugbear? Get rid of it. Who cares?
And let it go if you don't. All right. My last one. Simple, but hopefully effective. Go back and reread the core book, the core rule book, or a section of the core rule book. This is a fantastic and often underlooked exercise, especially for those of us who have been GMing for many, many years. A lot of the time we assume things like how things work or just have these opinions on what this game is and what it is not. And oftentimes when I'm feeling stuck, I'll just flip back and read through a section of the Dungeon Master's Guide and discover so many things that, oh, I forgot that was how that worked. Or, if I have a paladin player at my table, how often do I, as the GM, actually look at the paladin class? Probably not a lot. So why not go back and read through that and get a better understanding of what it is your players are doing, what they can do? Just going back to the source text and reminding yourself, revisiting it, rereading it, with a fresh gaze. A lot of incredible things can happen and spark things that, you took for granted. And it's an easy thing to do, keep a rule book by your bed, and for a few weeks and read a chapter, each night, like you would a chapter book. Rules are meant to be engaged with in all manner of ways. Why not do it leisurely, right? Like a novel.
Here's my thing. So this is important with all books. So let's start there. So one of the things that like a lot of people say with self-help books or any book in general is that oftentimes when rereading a book, especially after any meaningful amount of time, is that there are things that will speak to you because this is surprise. I know you've changed. I say that to say this piece of advice is in no way whatsoever to speak negatively of you or your skills. No. It is simply to say, and of myself just as much as anybody else, and I know you're saying the same thing, you're going to see things differently or that you just didn't see in the first place.
Yeah.
So I looked up real quick, roughly, and it's not the exact number, but roughly 9,000 hours in a year. Let's say we're awake for 75% of that. That's 6,700 hours that you are awake in a year doing something other than reading this book. Yeah. Let's say it takes you 50 hours to read this book. Again, that's how many hours that you were doing something else. Was it at your job? Was it with your family? Was it going on trips? Was it consuming other media? Was it playing other games? And so that's all to say. Those are all the things that you've done to expand your own mind before reading the book again.
And a lot of the time, the first time you read an RPG, like a core rule book, you're in a position where you have to learn this stuff. You have to introduce it to other people. Like, it's a very stressful thing. You know, you're trying to get the mastery just so you can get it up and running. So a lot of the time, the first time, which for a lot of people is the only time they ever sit down and read through core rulebook, that moment in time, you were nowhere near as good a dungeon master, a game master as you are now. So you have experience, you have a whole different lens, right, to look back at that material through now with a lot of context. And that context makes all the difference in the world for understanding and noticing a lot of the little stuff that game designers bake into these things because, we want games to function on a lot of different levels just to get it out the door, get it running, and then also build in complexity for those people who have spent time with it and are looking for more. So there are layers to all of these things. So forgive yourself, past yourself for maybe not noticing everything. It's not a slight at all. This is absolutely how the boat is supposed to, sail.
Oh, yeah. And if you were in the thick of the TTRPG community, especially the D&D side of things, probably a few years back, there was this whole swath of, you guys didn't know that was in the DMG? But yeah, there's just random charts of like, you didn't know? The like DM inspiration token thing. It's just a random page where it's like, your inspiration token, you could just trade that in. You're the DM now. Like, that was a thing. It's still a thing. In the 2014 rule book, there's a page with an optional rule where your inspiration token can be used to become the DM. Not a reroll. You're the DM.
You're become the takeover right now for a bit. Yeah. It's wild. And there's just so much. And a game, especially a game like D&D, is very complicated. So there's always more to learn and discover.
So we're not going to do anything else. This is just a celebration of our 100th episode.
100!
And you know what? I think our bonus piece of advice is that if you have, and I know I've said it before, but if you as a DM have a DM, just go thank them.
Go thank them. Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. I did it before and I didn't know. So Brandon, if you're listening, thank you for taking the time to DM me. I know it's scary. You say it's scary. It's not. It shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. But yeah, so thank you for being my DM.
To all the DMs I've loved before, you make it look easy. You're amazing. I love you.
Yes. Yeah, and to everyone out there that is listening now, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, GM. I don't know you, but I wish I did. Thank you for your service.
You put in more time, effort, and anything.
You do.
It does not go unnoticed.
We see you.
Because again, one of my big pushes for this is, and everything that we do, is that I know content creator gets a weird rap as a term, but I mean, you're creating content, even if it's just for you in your home game. Sometimes that content that you create ends up being more important for the people that you create it for than it is for you. I know that for what we do here, some of the episodes have meant a lot more for the people that have listened than for me, because sometimes I just based on the place that I am when I have created it, but it has found the people that have needed it exactly when they have needed it. And I could not be more fulfilled by that fact. So yeah, you are doing amazing work. You may not see that. You may never see it, which is unfortunate, but know that what you're doing is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, we shall turn out the lights and we'll head out of the gym.
Before we go, I want to implore you, the listener, to join the forums, the Discord, and anywhere else you can find us and take part in these challenges, exercises, and other amazing conversations being had.
And to do that, head over to bit.ly/DM banter and try some DM-Nastics so your players don't ask, do you even lift?